Welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob coming at you. Did Tom Kim win? End up winning? Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
he
he
shot a 61 today.
Yeah, I was gonna say he shot us. What is it? 27 on the front nine.
Yep.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't follow us on Twitter, Bob put out his picks for the we call it the card of curses. So shout out to mybookie.com. We'll get that done early today. You're going to want to go to mybookie.com, use the promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. So on Twitter, if you also follow us, we'll get this out of the way soon too here, at sarcasm_speaks on Twitter. Bob put out his picks, right? The card of curses. I forget the other two that were on there, but one of them was Kim at 23-1. And I just responded and was like, is that Tom Kim? Which was sort of tongue in cheek because it's this new thing that just started, like, I don't know, maybe like a week or two ago. His real name is Ju Young. I believe it's Joohyung. Ju Young Kim. But he now wants to be called Tom because obviously the translation from Ju Young to English is Tom. That makes way more sense than anything else it could have. So again, as like a tongue-in-cheek thing, I was like, oh, is that Tom Kim? But you were actually on Siwoo Kim.
Yeah, I think Tom Kim had better odds.
Yeah, he was 40-1. Yeah. So he ended up winning the Wyndham.
Which is the most frustrating thing too is I was waiting for some idiot from this year that like kind of lit it up. I was waiting for them to win one, like Mito Pereira, Sahith Theegala, Cam Young. Like I was waiting for those guys. Like,
right,
when are they going to finally win one? Because usually one of those guys can steal. Like it used to be the Greenbrier. Like they play that in the fall now. But I was thinking with this stretch, it was Minnesota, Detroit, and then the Wyndham at Greensboro. I'm like, one of those guys should be able to steal a win. So it's like I was on Cam Young in Detroit. I forget who I was on in Minnesota. And here you go. This was it. It was because seriously, like he was one of the guys this year. He's only 20.
Yep.
And he showed up out of fucking nowhere, just like lighting it up. Like he was lighting it up in Korea, I assume.
Yeah.
And he's the one who gets the win in like special temporary membership, all that crap. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like I knew it would be someone.
Yeah. I just didn't know who. Yeah. Instead, we got Tony Finau back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, it was Finau won back-to-back weeks when I thought I was, fuck me.
Yeah, he won Minnesota and Detroit.
Yep, he did.
Which everyone now is like, oh, look out, because now Tony Finau knows how to win. Where my response, there's more to that. This is something that I heard on TV. They were like, well, look out now, because now Tony Finau knows how to win, because up until this point, he was the ultimate loser. Like he would be in the lead and then he would blow it away on Sunday, but now he's closed out back-to-back weeks. He's got a taste of victory. He's got was that like his third and fourth win on the PGA?
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh, here we go. It could be onto something, to which my immediate response is, you can shut the fuck up, because Tony Finau, quote unquote, learning how to win has come against absolute dog shit fields in back-to-back weeks in Minnesota and Detroit.
That Minnesota field was awful.
Absolutely terrible. There was the jokes I think that was the same week the Live Tour was playing, and the Live Tour, I saw there was like a combined, they did like the combined starting list, or like the compared whatever. And they were like, of all the Live Tour players this weekend, there was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 major wins combined. And then on the starting lineup, the starting field for the Minnesota one, I think there was 4.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I mean they had some bad fields. I think Detroit was okay. Actually, I thought Wyndham was better than it usually is.
Yeah. And then the good old Webb Simpson just fucked everybody, right? Myself included, starting there.
Oh yeah, dude. That's so him at the Wyndham has become the biggest trap the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because
well, no, last year he finished T7, but the only reason he was T7 is because it was a 6-man playoff for first for the win.
At the Wyndham?
Yeah.
Who won?
Russell Henley.
He won a 6-man playoff? Why the fuck don't I remember this?
Yeah. It's because it's the last
because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's the last regular season event.
Yeah.
And last year it was probably later in August. Is this the first year? It's like the first weekend?
No. This is about the same.
Yeah.
It's been a few years now.
We could have been on Guys Weekend last year at that time too. Potentially. I don't know.
I don't remember that at all. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So what the fuck's his name? Webb Simpson. Everyone going in. Oh yeah, no, it's Webb Simpson at the Wyndham. Obviously, you got to bet him. And I didn't take the cheese completely. I bet him top 5 and top 20. I thought the top Webb Simpson top 20 was the easiest fucking money bet I've made in my entire life. And nope, wasn't. He withdrew in the second round. Now, there was a weather delay in the second round, but through 35 holes, he was +1. And at that point, the cut line was looking to be -1. So he was like, yeah, I'm not going back out after the weather delay, because I think he only had like 2 holes left, and was like, that's not happening. So I'm just going to withdraw. So Webb Simpson, the guy that in his last like 5 starts here, the worst finish he's had is T7 last year, withdrew after he was about to miss the cut. So he cost a lot of people a lot of money. Vegas was very happy that Webb Simpson fucking sucked it up this year.
Yep.
So they got my money. I got.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get got on Webb Simpson, not this year.
Yeah. And it was one of those things. I heard some people going in being like, well, he's not playing that well, going into this. And
yeah.
And I looked at his stats in previous years. I think it was in 2019. He missed 2 out of the 3 cuts in the 3 events leading up to the Wyndham. And then he finished like T3 at the Wyndham. So I was like, I don't know, history, because I did dive into it, right? Because I was like, what? Why? Because the Webb Simpson top 5 was 5-1 odds, and he was plus money to finish top 20. I think it was like plus 130 when I got it. And I was like, why is this? Like, what is going on here? So I looked and I go, obviously, he's not playing well this season leading into the event. So I did just that. What I just said, I went back and I looked for a year when he was not playing well going into the Wyndham and see how he did. And I believe it was 2019. Like I said, he missed 2 out of 3 cuts going into the event and finished T3. So I was like, all right, well, I feel like top 20 is pretty solid. Nope, not this year, because I put money on him. And he withdrew, didn't even fucking finish. So pretty sick. They also dealt with like a lot of weather in the event this weekend. There was 2 or 3 weather delays, I think.
Yeah, I think the weather outside was weather.
Yeah. They stopped it obviously on Friday, right? Because that's when Webb Simpson withdrew. And then they stopped it again on Saturday, and I think they tried to get back out on Saturday, and then they eventually called it again. So when I watched it this morning, there was groups teeing off on 11 for the 3rd round at like 8 a.m. So some of those guys had like a real long fucking day. They had to play like 7 holes first thing in the morning, and then go play another 18 in the afternoon. So I think Tom Kim was one of the guys that finished yesterday, because there was 12 guys that out of the whole field, there was 12 people that finished their round on Saturday. And I think there was Tom Kim, Taylor Pendrith, and Russell Henley, I think. No, not Russell Henley, because I saw him playing this morning. I don't know. They said it, but I'm pretty sure Tom Kim was one of the guys that didn't have to go out this morning and play, 7 holes before they went and played 18. And he won.
I wasn't. Yeah, dude, honestly, I paid very, very little attention to this week's tournament.
Yeah, I only watched it this morning because Pickett woke me up at 6:15. So I came out and sat on the couch, and there's nothing on TV in 6:15 in the morning on a Sunday. So I was like, oh, let me see what the deal is here. Because I didn't even know that they canceled Saturday with the weather delay. And that's when I found out. So I was like, oh, cool. I wonder if it's on. So I put on Hulu, because it's on. They have have to get ESPN through Hulu. And it was there, and it was the main feed. So I watched, a couple hours of the end of the third round at fucking 6:30 in the morning.
Sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Then we've been crushing, actually, Daredevil. So Amy got into that series, where I got her into it with the first season of Daredevil, which is pretty good. And we have one episode left in season 2. We probably watched like 6 episodes today of season 2.
I was going to rewatch season 2, but we don't hold the Disney Plus account.
Oh,
so we can't go in and change the parental controls.
Yeah.
So I can't watch it.
That's
which I didn't know.
Lame. Yeah. You have to change the things. So yeah, it's good. I forgot a lot that happened in there. There was a lot of things, like there was the whole thing with Elektra in season 2 that, like, I forgot she was even a part of it. And then, hey, there's no spoilers here because this show's wicked fucking old. I forgot she was the Black Sky, like with the hand and that whole thing. Like we just found out in the penultimate episode of season 2 that she is the Black Sky. And like I forgot all the other stuff that happens after that. And it's wild. That I think carried into the Defenders.
Yeah, because
with her,
there were dinosaur bones and bringing people back to life and shit.
Yeah, they were trying to
because there's a guy that began with
dragons.
an N. There was a guy that like he died,
but then came back. Yeah, they brought him
back.
That's like part of the whole shtick with the hand, is like they just bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, but the way they did it was they needed dinosaur bones. So that's why in the Defenders, they were digging under a certain point.
Right.
Because that's where a dragon was buried.
Yeah. It was the whole thing. It gets a little wonky as the Defenders series goes, right? Like, so I think the actual chronological order that it was released is the order you're also supposed to watch it in. So that helps. So it's supposed to go season 1 of Daredevil, season 1 of Jessica Jones, then season 2 of Daredevil. We just went right in season 1 and 2 of Daredevil. We'll probably go back and watch season 1 of Jessica Jones, just because I think that is one of the best seasons of all the Defender series outside of the Punisher. Like I think both seasons of the Punisher sit at the top of the Defender series, but the first season of Jessica Jones is up there. It's definitely top 5. And then I actually like season 2 of Daredevil. And then Luke Cage, I thought was pretty good.
Luke
I
Cage
don't
was
see
slow.
now. I don't remember season 3 of Daredevil. I could not tell you what happens in that at all.
Season 3? Oh
Yeah.
shit. So that's before season 3 is before the Defenders.
Yes, because at the end of the Defenders, everyone thinks Matt died.
Yeah.
Again, no spoiler alerts here because these shows came out in fucking 2018, 2019.
Season 3. Is that when Kingpin's in jail?
No, he's in jail in season 2. So
Is
maybe
he out?
both.
Is he out in season 3?
He could have been. I think. Yeah, he could have. He might come out in season 3. Yeah, because wasn't he on house arrest for a while and he was like running everything from his apartment?
Dude, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And that's a lot. Now that I'm thinking of it, that's like a lot of episodes too.
It is. That's the one weird thing with the Defenders, right? Is that, well, obviously it was a Netflix show, so they just did whatever they wanted. They didn't like really curtail to like the Disney model, but all of these like spin-off TV shows that Disney Plus has put out have all been like 8 episodes or less.
Yeah, most of them have been 6 episodes, less than an hour long.
Right.
These are all 13 episode seasons, and they're all like an hour long, aren't they?
Yeah, they're between 45 and an hour, depending on each one.
It's a lot of catching up.
Yeah. 13 episodes a season is, I mean, fuck, that's a lot. So the Defenders though was short. I think the Defenders was only 8. Yeah. But yeah, as far as the Defenders go, Iron Fist kind of sucked. Wasn't that good.
Again, that's the thing. Like, I think Iron Fist, they just made the character annoying.
Yeah,
because it actually isn't a bad idea. It's almost like regular person Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Plus more hand-to-hand combat, whatever.
Yeah,
like less sorcery, more. I get. You know what? It's probably more like Shang-Chi.
Yep.
An awfully similar idea to Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how many seasons Luke Cage got. Did he get 3 or 2?
I think he got 2.
Yeah, couldn't tell you what happened in the fucking second one.
Season 2, well, I think was better than season 1. Season 2 was the Bushmaster.
Oh,
it was his half brother or some bullshit like that.
Jesus Christ.
Season 1 was very slow of Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Season 2 was better. Season 3 of Jessica Jones was really bad. I think that's the one when Trish becomes a fucking superhero. She like drinks she like drinks like liquid nitrous and just becomes like fucking super bitch.
Yeah. I didn't like the second one either with her mother.
Yeah, I don't think I liked that one either. So
I don't know. I think I've always liked Jessica Jones, like the character.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think she's great. And like I said, I think the first season is easily top 5, if not top 3. You know, it's up there.
Yeah, but I think too, it's like her character holds for seasons 2 and 3. It's just the
supporting cast,
the story, and like the plot of it doesn't work, and
yeah,
gets a little weird. I don't know.
Yeah. So the whole reason we kind of got into it too was when it got announced a few weeks ago when Marvel, we talked about that on the show, I think. When Marvel did the whole timeline. Yeah, we said they basically gave us nothing. Yeah, they gave us nothing.
Yeah, it just made me more confused.
Yeah, but they're bringing Daredevil back.
Yes.
Right. So we wanted to at least get through that, or Amy did at least, because I've already seen it. But like I said, I'm glad that I did go back and watch it because I forgot a lot of shit that happened in that. And obviously I love the Punisher series. I think that's awesome. And Amy does too. I didn't actually realize that season 2 of Daredevil is almost like the Punisher prequel. He's in like every single episode. And he has like his own plot line that the story follows. So it's almost like a split season where like half of the season's about Matt and half of the season's about Frank. But yeah, like I said, I can't remember season 3. Oh, and the other thing, that's what I was getting at too, was She-Hulk. They're all going to be in She-Hulk.
They're all going to be in She-Hulk?
Well, not by all, I mean Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Okay, I can work with that.
Are both going to be in She-Hulk. And there's rumors that the Daredevil Reborn series that's part of whatever phase 5 or 6, Frank Castle's going to be in that.
Yes, I did see that.
So they're basically bringing back everybody for now, at least, except for Luke Cage and Danny Rand.
Yeah,
the Iron Fist. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, if they're going to give them all their own series again. Because then the weird thing too with Daredevil Reborn is they gave it 23 episodes. So that's like an old school television series, right? Like old, like TV before, 2010, right? Before like streaming services took over. Like a regular season of TV was like, I think anywhere from 22 to 26 episodes, because it would run every week and they would run it for like half the year. And then they would take the mid-season break, right? That's like, I think at the beginning of the summer. And then they would start all the series for the fall. Because that was the whole thing. Like no one watches TV in the summer because they're out doing shit. So it was like, like TV's like seasons used to run like January to June. And then from the end of July through December or whatever it was. But it's interesting, right? Because obviously, like we just said, Netflix gave everyone 13 episodes. The whole thing with Disney Plus, everyone's been 8 episodes or less. And now just they're bringing back the Daredevil series and they gave them 23. So I don't know. I feel like that's almost kind of dangerous. Because we are on record on this show, because we were watching them too, right? When we probably were beginning the podcast, at least. So I remember talking about them on the show, but there was a few of them that we were like, yeah, you could have done this in 10 or 11 episodes instead of 13, right? Like there was a couple of them where it's like, you didn't need that many episodes. Like it just felt like it was a touch too long. And now you're going to have 23.
I guess the timing of those episodes matters.
Yeah.
And
yeah, if they're all like 30, 40-minute episodes, then that's fine.
And then, but then they still have to cover 10 hours, 10, 11, 12 hours of media. And right now they're going for under 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when it was 13 episodes, 45 to an hour long. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a lot more similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Disney Plus is going to do it. Are they going to go back to the old television model where they release one episode every week? Because that's what they've been doing, right? That's what Disney Plus has done with these series.
That takes half the fucking year.
I know, but that's what regular TV used to be.
I can't go back to that. As is, like what was the latest one? Miss Marvel?
Yeah,
Miss Marvel. I waited for all 6 of those to come out and I watched it in 2 days. Because I had to go back and rewatch Loki.
Yeah.
I did not remember what the fuck happened in Loki.
Yeah. I didn't either. And that was probably one of the best ones that's been out.
That one was actually good.
Yeah. And they're giving it a season 2.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. I mean, I remember how it left off, but I just don't know where they're going to go from there.
I mean,
but they did open the door for it's the beer fest effect, right? That's Loki was dead in Endgame and now he's back.
Kind of.
They just pulled a landfill.
Well, kind of. Like he is back. Like but this is where like the multiverse stuff gets a little goofy. And again, the comic books did it first, so it's like okay.
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be landfill-esque if it's like, oh, okay, well, Loki's not actually gone. Now he's going to use this to time travel. And it's like Steve Rogers is going to come back and it's like, oh, okay. So we're just rerun it. We're running back Avengers 1.
Right.
With the same people, same whatever. Like, at least it will be different now. And it's like,
yeah.
Like,
but the door's always open, right? Now that they,
I did see that as a criticism.
They've uncorked the multiverse model. So now the door is always open.
So if they don't want someone to die, they don't have to be dead.
Right. And also which I don't think it will, right? Because I've been on record bad mouthing the Marvel fucking universe before, thinking that it's going to go to shit, and it doesn't. But if for whatever reason it did start to tank, I'm Tate committed, by the way. If the Marvel universe did start to kind of shit the bed and like become less popular in like 5 or 6 years, they can just be like, oh, we're getting the band back together. We're going to do one mega movie again. And it's the multiverse. So they're all back and they're all alive, and it's a different story, and it's new, but it's old.
Yeah. And it'll make a bunch of money, but the people who are like watching and reviewing, they ain't that stupid. Like,
no,
it happened with James Bond, and it happened with episode 9, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you can tell. It's like, oh, okay. So these were like a solid to the fans.
Right.
And it's like, I didn't need that.
Yeah.
I really fucking didn't. Like my James Bond movie, like the most recent one, I actually enjoyed that. I thought
I didn't think it was bad.
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
I thought his character was probably one of the more villainous characters that like we've really seen. And it wasn't just like on a murdering rampage. Like, I thought that character was like really fucking well developed. And like, given the whole, like, I don't know, I just thought the whole thing worked.
Because Javier Bardem was really fucking good, but like what you just said, he was just a murdering lunatic.
Yeah, so I do think he
might be one of my favorite villains.
Yes. And but so I guess let me try to use words to go with what I'm trying to say. So it's like,
what's his name? Pepe Sylvia?
It was Silva. I forget his first name.
Oh yeah.
And I forget if that was his real name or fake name. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. So James Bond fought Pepe Sylvia.
Not only do all of these people exist, they've been looking for their mail for weeks. So he was driven by revenge, a bit of a murderous super genius, like former agent. Like he had like the cyber hacking going, like but like he was motivated by like revenge and getting back at M, and thus eventually killing M, whatever.
Right.
Like Rami Malek just wanted to watch everyone fucking suffer.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was. Like he didn't. Yeah. Okay. You can have some level of like population control, but like it was never clear that he wanted anything except really being able to just like fuck people over.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like obviously you can murder your enemies and shit like that, but ultimately what he wanted to do was make sure that James Bond could never fucking go off into the sunset in the movie that sends him off into the sunset.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's probably worth the watch again.
Yeah. You know, as you were saying that, I was thinking that because I remember a lot of it, but I don't remember all of it. You know, like I remember the bits and pieces. Yeah. Obviously the ending, and then the house in, what was that, like Norway or Sweden?
Yeah, I think it was
Norway.
the fuck
it was. Yeah, like I remember all that stuff. But there's a lot that I obviously don't remember. That's got to be out free somewhere at this point. Actually, no, I think I might own it. I might have bought that on Amazon Prime when it first came out.
Yeah. I got it on DVD.
Yeah. We got a lot of DVDs here. We don't have a DVD player though. It's pretty awesome.
Seems problematic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I say that I could probably get one on eBay for like $30.
Yeah, I mean, DVD players are not expensive.
Yeah, like including shipping. Like it's probably more expensive to ship it than
you know what? I bet you it's shittier to get one off eBay because those are people that have to pay the shipping.
Right.
Generally.
Yeah, yeah.
If you fucking go on Amazon, you can probably get one here dropped by drone in fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it would be cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. Should probably look into that. Get a lot of shit.
So I bought a new 3-wood shaft on eBay today.
Oh, nice.
So it's the same thing I have, just lighter. I'm giving it a try, whatever. So the guy messages me and goes, "Oh, hey, I'm going to be playing golf in Hingham. My cousin used to live on your street. The first spot on the right, big square brick building, doesn't really look like a house, whatever." And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Because I can bring it by on Wednesday, like earlier in the days, better, whatever. And like, yeah, man, like that's fine. Drop it off, like whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, deliveries are usually left like front porch of the main building. I'm like, dude, I'm not meeting you for this thing. Like, just put it in a box and fucking leave it for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know. It was weird. And then like, so like I go back to it and it's like the listing is coming from like Lakeville. I'm like, oh shit. I didn't even really like notice that.
Yeah.
Did
you get it on Marketplace?
No, I bought off eBay.
Oh, okay.
But it just so happened to be Lakeville.
Oh.
So instead of I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't care. Like, fucking drop it in the mail tomorrow, bring it to me Wednesday. I don't give a fuck. But like,
yeah, right. Like,
dude, I'm not gonna meet you. Like, I'm probably gonna be at work.
Yeah. Yeah. Clubs are a pain in the ass to ship because you need like a special box, right? Like it's gotta be,
yeah,
it's an odd shape. It doesn't have to be like a special box, but obviously you need one that's long enough to hold the club. Because I ran into that. I just sold my old WeatherTech floor mats for my Subaru on eBay. And I'm not going to say they really fucked me, but like they fucked me a little bit, but it's not really huge. They ended up selling for $75 on eBay. And I put the shipping at $20 because the shipping was more, and it said it was going to cost, I listed it a long time ago, but let's say it was like around $40. So I was like, they're used WeatherTechs. So I had to drop the price a bunch of times. And I was like, if I put $40 on shipping on there, no one's ever going to fucking buy it. So I was like, I'll eat the cost. I'll have them pay half the shipping, whatever. So again, they sold for $75. The $20 in shipping ended up being whatever that is, $95. Well, it ended up costing me like fucking $67 to ship it because I had to take it to FedEx. Because when you sell something, the other thing too is they've been on eBay for so long, right? Like I bought my truck last fucking October. So I put them on eBay probably, I don't know, in like February. They've just been constantly cycling through. So I just kept dropping the price, taking them off for like a month, waiting a while, listing them again, like just doing the whole thing. So obviously like prices could have changed, right? Like shipping prices, they for sure changed because obviously gas is way fucking more expensive than it was, in January or February when I listed them originally. But I was like, God damn, like $67 to ship this thing. Because when you go through and you sell on eBay, obviously, but for listeners that don't know, it gives you the option to buy the shipping label through eBay, and it typically gives you a discount. Well, the post office shipping, the cheapest one they had was like $80. And I was like, I'm not paying $80 to ship something when I got it for 95. So they have drop downs, right? Like you can choose USPS, FedEx, whatever. So I clicked on FedEx, and the cheapest one they had was like, I think 40 something. So it was already more than the 40 that I thought it was going to be. So it was like 48. So I was like, fuck this. I'll just go to the store. There's a FedEx literally 2 minutes from my house. So I throw everything in the box because I'm also guessing on weights. Like, I don't know how much it actually weighs. I'm guessing. So I pack it in the box. I tape it up. I put like an address on it, right? And instead of like a real shipping label, I bring it to the FedEx. They weigh it. They're like, all right, cool. They get the information. And they're like, all right, it's going to be like fucking 66.92. And I'm like, God damn, like $67 to ship this fucking thing. But it's the cheapest way that I could have went. Because like I said, if I went to the post office, it would have been like almost $90. I would have basically just got rid of them for free at that point. So, I mean, I probably made like what, $20-$30 off the fucking WeatherTechs at the end of the day, but they're gone. They're not sitting in the fucking corner behind me anymore. They were sitting back there in that little nook. So they cleared out some space. But yeah, it's just fucking, it's dumb. It's annoying. How did we even get, talking about shipping. Because so shipping that stuff is obviously a pain in the ass.
Yeah, anything that's like weird sizes, it just sucks.
Yeah, it's almost like this guy, it's better off for him to drive from Lakeville to Milton than it is to pay probably 30 something bucks. Just ship it just because it's in a weird shaped box.
Yeah, it like the shaft, because it's just a shaft, but it's 42 inches, which is like when you go on like the USPS site, you can get free boxes, and I think they're like 36 in length.
Yep.
So you can ship a putter or a wedge, and good, like it fits, it goes. But then you get a shaft, which is 42, doesn't fit in that 36. And now it's probably going to cost more to ship the shaft than the wedge, even though it's significantly like a third of the weight, a quarter of the weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just because of that extra length on it.
Yeah. It's like outside of like standard size.
Yeah. And honestly, I was sitting there and I'm like, well, what the fuck did I go, this dude better, like, if he's going to drop it off, like, again, I'll give you a couple bucks, but like, what did I pay in shipping? Nothing. It was free shipping. I go, all right, well, then I don't give a fuck how it gets to me.
Yeah.
just fucking bring it. Yeah.
So it's funny you say that. I went to go pick up a wedge that's right over here. It's a 56 degree Vokey wedge. Shout out to my buddy Neil that I work with. He bought this off of Marketplace from a guy that lives in North Attleboro, like 5 minutes from my house. He lives like right in downtown behind the post office. And so Neil his wife, actually, now he didn't have a baby, but his wife had a baby yesterday. So he texted me on Friday and was like, hey man, I got a weird fucking question for you. And I was like, yeah, shoot. And he's like, so my wife's about to go into labor, and I just bought a Vokey wedge on Facebook Marketplace. And it turns out the guy lives in North Attleboro. Would you be able to pick it up from him? And then like, I'll just get it from you, like whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, no problem, whatever. Like, I'm playing tomorrow morning. I'll shoot him a text. So he gave me the info, whatever. Turned out the guy was pretty nice. He's a young kid, probably in his like mid 20s. Just moved up here. He gave me the whole story. He just moved up here from New York. He was, because I just texted him and was like, oh yeah, I'm just coming from the course. I'll be there soon. He's like, oh, what course did you play at? And I was like, oh, I played at Chamawa. And he's like, I don't know where that is. I go, it's fucking 10 minutes away from here. It's down the road behind the mall. And I go, where are you playing? Because he said he was playing this afternoon. He goes, oh, I'm playing at this place called what was it? Old Scotland Links. And I was like, oh yeah, Old Scotty. It's a great course. Like you'll like it. And he was like, oh, wow. But I'm just thinking in my head, like, clearly you're new here because you live in North Attleboro and you just made a tee time for a place in fucking Bridgewater that's like probably pushing an hour away. It shouldn't be an hour, but it's going to take you like probably like 40 to 50 minutes to get there just because of like just dumb ways. And then also where it is in Bridgewater, it's not, it's like, it's off of 106 and then you got to go up and around to the back. It's like, it's just annoying to get to. But I was like, yeah, man, there's a lot of golf courses around here that are not an hour away. And if you did want to travel like the 45 to an hour, like you could go to New England Country Club and get probably better conditions than Old Scotty, which Old Scotty is great. Don't get me wrong. But like at this point, why would I go to Old Scotty unless I'm meeting people? Like if we all decide to like, you know, there's four of us, we're going to go somewhere. But like, if I'm just looking to play, I'm not going to go to Old Scotty. And if I want to play in like a nice course around here, I'll go to New England Country Club, you know, or like Wentworth. Yeah. I mean, Wentworth, it's short, but it is like, you know, it's nice.
I have never played Old Scotty in the regular season.
Yeah.
I've only played it in March.
Yeah. That's where I taught golf when I used to teach in college.
That's great because you weren't even playing then.
No, I wasn't. Definitely wasn't.
Yeah, I wonder what it's like there during the year. Like, I wonder if it's actually all right.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I know about it is
busy.
It's busy. It's fucking busy.
That's the hardest part. Is it's fucking slammed all the time.
Yeah, I almost actually texted you and Jones on Saturday when I played. I played at Chimawa, and I got paired up with a guy. So the whole fucking thing, I knew exactly how it was going to play out. So I had a 7:06 tee time. So I get there probably around 6:30. I go and I check in, I start to get ready and I go out, I throw my bag on a cart. And there's a guy just kind of like sitting on it's like standing on the tee box. And at this point it's like 6:40. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, there's whatever guys coming. So I go to the starter and he's like, oh, what time you got? And I was like, oh, 7:06. And he goes, oh, okay. And the guy in the tee box goes, hey, I'm 7:06 too. And I go, well, it's 6:40. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for like going out early, but like you're standing on the tee box at 6:40. Like there's at least two groups in front of us, but there was like no one really around. So I asked the starter and I'm like, is it just us? And he's like, yeah. And I go, all right, well, is it cool if I go out early with this guy? And he's like, yeah, I mean, the 6:40 guys aren't here. And I don't see anyone here for 6:50 yet either. They haven't checked in. So I was like, okay. And then he goes, so I get in the cart to pull it up and he goes, actually, do you mind just jumping in with him? And I go, sure. Yeah, no problem. And then just like, I just blurted out like, oh, is it just us? And he's like, no, we're booked out all morning. Like we don't have any open slots. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, well, it's 6:40 and we have a 7:06 and we're both about to tee off because the 6:40 group or whatever it is, 6:42, whatever the fuck it was, 6:38, whatever the group that was supposed to be there isn't there. And then the group that's supposed to be at like 6:53 isn't here. And I'm like, well, how you're really fucking booked, huh? So I get in this guy's car and I go, this is going to be a fucking pain in the ass now. Like I already know it. And the guy literally did not shut the fuck up the entire time. Nice enough guy. But he was one of those guys that he is not good and I'm not good either. Right. Like I actually played like dog shit on Saturday. I didn't have one par, like bogeys across the board. And I think I had 2 doubles and 1 triple. So like played absolutely like garbage. But he was one of those guys that like sucked, but had a reason why he sucked for every shot. It's one of those like he'll like hit a toe shank and be like, oh, picked my head up there. I gotta keep my head down.
Did he mention loft as being any of the reasons why he wasn't good?
No.
No, he didn't use loft.
No, he didn't use loft.
See, I would say that the reason he sucks is loft.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about his clubs. I'm talking about lack of fucking talent.
Yeah.
Something I suffer from, but
yeah.
if you use the right comparison, then I definitely don't suffer from it.
Yeah. It's and like I said, he was a nice enough guy. Like we talked about some other bullshit, like just as you do, right? You go around, hey, what do you do for work? Where do you live? All that bullshit. But like,
what do you when people say, where are you from? What do you answer on the golf course?
I around here, I just say north of Boston.
So okay,
because everyone I play with around here is from fucking Rhode Island.
Okay, because I still answer that too when people go, "Oh, where are you from?" I'll be like, "Oh, I grew up in Medford," and it's like then it's like, "Oh, where do you live now?" And it's like, well, I live in Milton, but don't talk to me about Milton. I don't know shit about Milton.
Yeah,
like I don't know a fucking thing about this place.
Yeah. I know more about Medford and you haven't lived there in 15 years.
Dude, I know more about Dedham, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't live there. Like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, because like I'm still sitting there and I'm like, how long do I have to say? Like, okay, so I haven't lived in Medford full time since 2011. And if you want to say the dorms, then it would be 2008. But like I haven't resided there full time for whatever year you want to consider, 2008 or 2012. Doesn't matter.
We were counting for tax purposes.
Yeah.
You spent more time in Bridgewater.
So that's like a third of my life now at this point that I haven't even lived in that fucking place.
Right.
So it's like, at what point do I stop saying when someone's like, "Oh, where are you from?" At what point do I just like, I don't know, whatever. It's just easier. Honestly, it's just easier to say, grew up in Medford, I live in Milton now. But
yeah. Like I said, for me, I just say north of Boston because, like I said, no one knows what the fuck is like. Everyone that's around here just stays around here, or they're really like, I played with someone once. They're like, "Oh, I'm from Exeter," and I was like, "Oh, really? Like New Hampshire?" And they were like, "No, Rhode Island." And I go, "Didn't even know that existed."
Yeah, I didn't know either.
You know what I mean? So like, that's what I mean. Everyone around here is like from fucking Rhode Island somewhere, or like Seekonk, or you know what I mean? Like everyone's just, they're down here. So when I say north of Boston, they're like, "Oh, really? Like where at?" And I go, "Medford." And they're like, "Oh, I don't think I've heard of that." And I go, "Yeah, that's why I said north of Boston. I didn't expect you to, because you guys never fucking leave anywhere around here.
Never leave South Philly."
Yeah, which I mean is the same thing anywhere. It's a New England thing. Like there's people, obviously people we grew up with that never fucking left Medford. So it's not like it's only like a Southeastern Mass thing or a Rhode Island thing. It's a New England thing. Like there's just people like they grew up in Medford and now they live in Malden, or like they moved to fucking Winchester. You know what I mean? Like you never leave the area. We happen to be fucking different, I guess. I don't know. But it's always some fucking random one time I played with someone and they were like, "Oh, I'm from Scituate." And I go, "Oh, I used to work in Scituate. Oh, it's great. It's a cool little beach town, all that." And they just kind of like looked at me and they were like, "Scituate?" And I go, "Yeah." Like next to Cohasset. And they were like, "Oh, no, Scituate, Rhode Island." And I was like, again, an instance where I was like, didn't even know that place existed.
Didn't either.
Yeah. So it's, like I said, everyone, that's why my go-to is, "Oh, I'm originally from north of Boston, but I live in North Attleboro now." Because the other thing too, like you said, how long do you have to go? I don't think either one of us has really spent enough time.
No, I haven't spent enough time anywhere
else, right? Like I can't say I'm from Bridgewater, but if you like divide up my life, I've probably spent almost as much time in Bridgewater than I did in Medford.
Well, I'm trying to think now,
but I'm not from Bridgewater.
Some of the guys we lived in
Mansfield, so
like, because like how some of them will answer is like, "Oh, I've lived in Sharon for 27 years. It's like, "Oh, cool. Like, did your kids go here?" "Oh, yeah, blah, blah." And then it's like, because really they're from someplace in New York that they're not explaining to us.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, what's that near?" "Nothing. Don't worry about it. New York's huge."
Yeah, I know, right? "Oh, where's that town in New York?"
Don't worry about
literally
it.
Could fucking be anywhere. It could be Western Mass, or it could be Pennsylvania, or it could be Canada.
Yeah.
Like New York is that big. It touches all three of those places. Like
Yeah.
Oh, what part of New York are you from? Hey, man, it doesn't fucking matter.
Not the city, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, not the city. So, or you could
Oh,
be from
close to
like
Albany?
dead center.
No. It's like
Like-
close to Albany? Nope. Close to Buffalo? Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, like what's it near then? Nothing. Nothing. It is near nothing.
Yeah. It's not like Massachusetts where it's like, oh, where you from? Like, oh, near Boston? No. Worcester? No. Springfield? Yeah, kind of near Springfield. There's like 3 places that you can name, and someone would be like, oh, yeah, kind of. And then if it's not one of those 3, you can say the Cape. It's Boston, Worcester, Springfield, or the Cape. And then it's like, that's it. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm kind of near there.
I'm from North Adams.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, dude, what part of Mass is that?
Here be dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, you know Springfield? Yeah, it's out that way.
Yeah, go past it.
Yeah. And
There's
north.
something past Springfield.
Yeah. You know, like when you're driving to go to Vermont, but like not the real way through New Hampshire. It's like yeah, that's where I'm at. So what else we got going on? Oh, we got a fun one. The monkeypox are here. We talked about it like super quick, I think, in an episode like maybe a couple weeks ago. But we have some I don't know, you can hold water to it now, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. California, New York, and Illinois are the 3 states that have all declared states of emergencies over the monkeypox.
So is the monkeypox sexually transmitted?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to get at. So there's this thing going around on Twitter, right? And I think it's pretty funny. I wonder, I sent one to Vinny because Vinny has,
I'll say Nico's also retweeted a thread.
Yeah, Vinny is
from
great
Black Twitter, and I was fucking dying
with some of these. Oh yeah, here we go. So before I get to the tweet, I'll give you the backstory. So monkeypox is a thing, right? People get it. You get like fucking sores on you. It's like bad chicken pox, essentially, right? No one's really dying from it.
Total body gonorrhea.
Yeah, total body gonorrhea. That's a great way to think about it. It's a gross visual. But people aren't really dying from it. Like people aren't dying from monkeypox. They're just getting it. They're contracting it, whatever. So here's a statistic for you. The New England Journal of Medicine, right? Which is pretty fucking legit, right? Like they're one of the best medical journals like in the world, certainly in the country. They did a study.
I thought CNN was.
Yeah. I thought it was Facebook, but you know, whatever. So they did a study looking at monkeypox, the monkeypox outbreak. And they looked at particularly between the months of April and June. And they found that 95% of the cases were spread through sexual transmission. And 98% of all cases were in gay and bisexual men.
So it's just like AIDS light.
Yeah. And I was going to say 41% of those cases with the monkeypox also had HIV. So a little less than half also had HIV. But 98% of all of the cases of monkeypox are in gay and bisexual men, because 95% of the cases they say is passed through sexual transmission. So who seems to be having a really hard time with this? California, New York, and Illinois. Well, California has this really gay place called San Francisco. I don't know if you've heard of it. LA is also pretty fucking gay. New York City, I mean, need I say more? And then Illinois kind of caught me by surprise. I mean, I know Chicago is there, but yeah, I didn't know that was a big was a big they had a big gay population there, but you know,
they just have a big population, which is why I think it's popping up.
Yeah. So you have those places, California, New York, Illinois getting hit the hardest. They declare state of emergency because of this. And everyone seems to be up in arms, right? Everyone's like, we have to do something about monkeypox. But what we can't do is talk about how it's a gay disease. Now, we talked about this at the very beginning, like at the very beginning of monkeypox. I remember saying, no one sees the comedy in this. And we did the whole bit, right? We did the whole bit of how AIDS got started because some dude fucked a monkey, and now it ravaged the gay community. And here we are, 50 years later, and we have this thing called the monkeypox that's ravaging the gay community, and like no one makes this connection. Like no one can see the comedy here. We did that bit however many months ago. But now we can't talk about it, because the tweet that I sent Vinny is from this guy, Clay Travis, who I don't particularly...
Isn't he he's a fucking Yahoo.
Yeah, I don't particularly like him. But sometimes he tweets out stuff and it's like, hey, he's not wrong. He's a dick.
You know what? You know what I was gonna say, a lot of his stuff is
he's just a dickhead.
You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Right, correct. Yeah. So he put out a tweet that said, we shut down the entire country for months over COVID at the demand of public health, and he puts experts in quotes. But telling gay dudes not to have orgies to stop monkeypox is a bridge too far for public health authorities to embrace. Now, there's actually two tweets, because as I say this, I remembered a second one. So this is a quote tweet, and he has a picture down here that's from the Washington Post. And the title of this article from the Washington Post that he tweeted this about is, as monkeypox strikes gay men, officials debate warnings to limit partners. And it says, the underneath part, sex is a major driver of the global monkeypox outbreak, but health officials and longtime HIV activists say abstinence doesn't work. So they're like, don't tell the gay guys to stop having sex because abstinence doesn't work. But to Clay Travis's point, we shut down the country for like a year and a half because of COVID. But now you can't tell gay dudes to not bang each other.
So this is why he's a Yahoo, because one, he has to make it like bombastic.
Right.
It's like telling, gay guys to have orgies. Yeah, you're right. Because that's only how it passes.
Yeah,
it's only
gay guys only have orgies.
And everyone knows that gay guys only, have sex in a pile.
Yeah.
And then also, you're not comparing apples to apples.
Right.
We're talking about something. Now, again, I don't agree with how it was handled at all, but we're talking about something that spreads through sex and something that's spread through air.
Yes.
One of those things you have a choice over. One of those things you do not.
Yeah. You don't have a choice to stop breathing. Well,
I guess you do. I was going to say, you don't have a choice to stop fucking in a pile of guys.
Yeah.
That's what it really, no. Yeah. You don't have a choice to control air. So that's like, as little as I agreed with anything that happened starting in 2020 and I don't know, culminating when, like late last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe when the airplane stopped this April. So call it a full fucking 25 months. Yeah, we'll call it 25 months. For a full 25 months, I agree with nothing that happened. But like, dude, we're not comparing the same fucking thing here.
No.
Now, to go the other way. At some point, someone needs to have a grown-up fucking conversation with someone about like, hey, if you're going to have a lot of anonymous sex, then this is what's going to happen.
And that's where it comes in. That's the point that people, I can't say they gloss over it, but they blow that part of it up, but don't address it, right? It's not the fact that it's not, right? We said this about COVID, right? We said it's not like if you gather in groups of more than fucking 6 or whatever they said at the beginning. Remember at the very beginning, they were like, don't gather in groups of more than 6 people or whatever the fuck it was.
Dude.
It wasn't like if you gathered in a group more than 6, like COVID spontaneously like appears, right? And goes, oh my God, here we go.
It's like a genie.
It's the same thing here. Just because gay dudes are having gay butt sex with each other doesn't mean like monkeypox is going to like spontaneously like appear out of nowhere. Like that's not how that works. But it's the like you said, it's the promiscuity of it, right? It's the like gay dudes are going to bang a lot of other gay dudes, right? They're very promiscuous. Like they just fucking rage and party and they're just dudes, right? Like that's the ultimate, like, this is a little bit off on a tangent here, but if you think about it, right? Like not to get into like, the whole gay community and who am I as a straight white cisgender male to say this, but fuck off. If you think about like a heterosexual situation, it doesn't have to be a relationship, right? Like there's a gatekeeper, right? The female is the gatekeeper. And everyone knows, right? Dudes, everyone's like, oh, dudes, all they want to do is bang, right? Oh, dudes, they just want to bang. The women are the ones that say yes or no. They allow that to happen, right? So they're in a heterosexual situation, they're like, no, you're gross. I am not attracted to you. And then, you move on. If you get a lot of dudes that just want to bang all the time and there's no like gatekeeping there, it's like, they're just going to bang all the fucking time. Right. So like gay dudes probably have more sex than anybody in the fucking world. Right. Cause it's like a dude is like, hey, you want to bang? The other one's like, yeah, sure. Let's do it. And then they just have gay butt sex. Right. Like that's what they do. Or whatever else they do, but who knows?
What's the difference between regular butt sex and gay butt sex?
Well, one is 2 dudes. You can have heterosexual butt sex.
No, I know you can.
Yeah.
But like what changes in the dynamics that you need to give it a qualifier?
There's a prostate involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not buying it, but you're not wrong. I was gonna say you bought yourself out of that corner.
Good old prostate. But yeah, no, like you said, right? It's the anonymous sex. It's the promiscuity of it. It's the going out and just banging every Tom, Dick, and Harry, quite literally, right?
Also, what was the percent
of
gay and bisexual men?
98% of all cases.
Oh shit.
Yeah. 98% of all cases, just from the months of April to June.
Well, you know what's funny is we've lost the ability just to, and again, we're not a fact-based show, so I would never like recommend that you need to be fact-based, but like I feel like this could be simple and just say, we have found that 98% of monkeypox cases are in gay and bisexual men.
Yeah.
Period. If you are a gay or a bisexual man, you should know that having sex with many or anonymous partners increases your risk of monkeypox, period.
Yeah.
Here are some ways to stop. Like, I assume a condom would help or whatever.
Yeah. Anything.
Or like, hey, here are some things. Like, you can use a fucking dental dam or whatever the fuck. Like,
yeah.
Period. But like, just like 4 sentences. That's all it takes.
Yeah. I couldn't find it, but because Defiant L's tweets a lot. But I remember at one point, Defiant L's put out a tweet from someone.
Yeah, I can pull that one up.
It was like, the first one was everyone needs to. Oh, you got it. All right, cool.
Senator Scott Wiener from San Francisco. We need a national mask mandate, period. That's how we beat the virus. That was in October 2020.
Yes.
And then he was quoted, if people want to have sex, they're going to have sex. I know people who normally go to sex parties who will not. People will make their own decisions about their own risk levels.
Yep.
That is a senator from San Francisco.
Yep. Same guy. Oh, let people make their own decisions. But no, we need a national mask mandate. Okay. Which one is it? Because we were saying that from the beginning with COVID. Let people make their own decisions.
I think the funniest thing that I saw in relation to this, so like people in New York, whatever, like if they want to get tested for monkeypox, they basically like were screening people out and like trying not to give tests. So it was almost like, all right, well, why do you want to test? And it's like, oh, I don't know, like I don't feel good. It's like, no. And it's like they base in like what people were saying, like again on Twitter, and Nico's retweeted it. It was almost like you just have to admit that you're a fucking cum dumpster and then they'll test you.
Yeah.
So like one was a picture of the guy from SpongeBob. What was like the salty spittoon or something was like the gym.
Yeah.
And in SpongeBob, it was like, how tough are you or how strong are you? He's like, I had a bowl of nails for breakfast this morning. He goes, so without any milk. And then like they let him in.
Yeah.
So this one was like the picture of the same guy, like the same bouncer, and just goes, how slutty are you?
Yeah. I mean, it's basically it, right? But like I said, there's certain things you can't say that. Oh, you can't do that. You can't marginalize that group that's been marginalized forever. It's like, well, is it really marginalizing them if you're just kind of be like, hey guys, maybe like be careful. Like telling them to be careful, I don't think is now. I say that there are certainly some people that are going to be dickheads about it, right? Like Clay Travis is going to be a cunt about it. But like just in general, like to say that monkeypox is like mostly in the gay community, that's not like out of bounds. It's not incorrect. It's actually factually accurate.
Yeah, I mean, if there's actual data.
Yes. Again, from the New England Journal of Medicine, out of all cases of monkeypox between April and June, 98% of them were in gay and bisexual men. But we can't attack.
Yeah, now what's gonna happen because politicians are the fucking worst. I didn't know you were a
homophobe.
Now the liberal side is like, no, we can't really like test these people and we can't really like screw whatever. And then like now the Republicans are going to be all for like, oh, well, I don't know, like,
yeah,
maybe we should have. It's like, fucking, you guys are the fucking worst.
Yeah,
I fucking hate all of you.
Yep.
If anyone wants to, like, if they're gonna make this a big deal, it's gonna go like that. It's gonna be so fucking irritating.
Yeah.
Like, why do all of you suck? Fucking.
They suck a lot. You got anything else? You want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
All right. What do you got?
So because as I've mentioned, my Instagram Explorer is all WWE and barbecue now. I've seen a lot of videos from my favorite time in wrestling. Again, I don't see myself really going back, but I can reminisce. And I gotta pull up my phone because now I'm forgetting the third move. One thing I did notice is all wrestling's fake. We know that, right? But there is something. Well, whatever.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
you just ruined my childhood.
I know. But there is something to be said. Like when someone gets power bombed, they are literally being thrown into the mat.
Right. Yeah. But
like,
I mean,
when Bradshaw did the clothesline from hell, they were literally like, again, it's not across their neck, but it's across their chest. Like,
right.
Like the chairs, say what you will about their durability.
Yeah.
People were actually getting hit by them. Like,
right.
So yes, it is fake. It is scripted, whatever. But looking back at some of this, I don't know, to me, like what was supposed to be more believable, that like these were like moves.
Yeah.
And I cherry picked 3 of them. Because we know like the tombstone, okay, it's like they're not really like dropped on their head.
Right.
But
if it were real, then like that would actually fucking hurt someone. Like you could break someone's neck.
Right. The people's elbow.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I was led to believe, and I know credit to them for, I don't know. You know what? I never really liked The Rock. I liked Stone Cold. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I was more of a Stone Cold guy.
So I'm led to believe that he can more or less form tackle somebody, put them down on the mat, stand over him, slowly remove his elbow pad, throw it into the crowd, do that stupid arm thing where he's fucking doing the Boston Pops, bounce from one ring or one side of the ropes to the other side of the ropes, to come over the top, have Tourette's, and drop an elbow on someone. And that's supposed to like stun them.
Yep.
So not only was that severely, severely drawn out.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even remotely believable that it could even potentially inflict any level of harm on anybody. And again,
no,
I'm using this already as a like with the correct qualifier that this is still fucking wrestling.
Right.
My second one, the Worm.
Yep.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Yep.
So I believe he used to do something. I forget. Was he like a two-hand, like smash your head into the ground? I don't remember. But I believe that's how you got into position. And then he would look around. He would get up. He would run in place.
Yep.
Then he would proceed to do a worm. 3/4 of the way around the ring. Culminating with him getting up, giving it a 1, 2, 3, and then dropping it on somebody.
Yep.
Almost exactly the same as the people's elbow. Way too drawn out. Not even close to like what could be considered an actual like pain inflicting move.
Right.
And then there's Chris Jericho's Lion Salt. Now, if you don't know the Chris Jericho Lion Salt, I believe that's what it's called. If it wasn't called that in WWE, it definitely was called that in WCW. Back when the Walls of Jericho was called the Lion Tamer. People forget.
Yeah.
But basically, someone would be laying down. He would jump to like the second rope or the first rope, do a backflip and land on the person.
Yeah.
But it's not enough height for me to believe that he actually has like a real landing.
Yep.
On the person. Like again, like Eddie Guerrero or Rob Van Dam's frog splash. I understand it's not real. And Chris Benoit's flying headbutt like doesn't actually land. I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he might smoke his head off the turf because that guy is the king of fucking concussions.
Yeah.
And CTE. But again, there's no like force behind it. Like he effectively like rolls into it. And I'm like, we were supposed to believe that was like, again, like a pain inflicting move.
Yeah.
I'm like, looking back at it, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, like these three moves in particular fucking piss me off.
Yeah, because they don't actually really do anything.
And the first two, I mean, again,
the first two are just
all
long
for show
and drawn out.
Yeah, again, I understand it's all for show.
Right. And they're actually also like the secondary moves, right? Because you can make the argument like the rock bottom is
his finisher.
Yeah.
The Walls of Jericho.
The Walls of Jericho.
Yeah. I think that was Scotty Too Hottie. That Scotty Too Hottie was a marginal person.
Yeah, at best.
It's like X-Pac's like Bronco Buster. Like,
yeah,
it was just something he did. It wasn't
Rikishi's stink face. Like,
yeah, I forget what he used to do. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, how underwhelming were those moves in particular?
Yeah.
So fucking weak.
Yeah, I don't know. Of all three of them, though, like if I had to pick which one was the worst, I would say the Worm.
I would actually say might be the People's Elbow because the Worm is insane. Like it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Like Chris Jericho's move is actually somewhat of an athletic feat because he does need to do a backflip with minimal assistance. Cause I think he jumps actually off the first rope. And it goes quick. Like it happens fast.
Right.
Like dude's down, he runs, jumps, like lands. Like, so shame on WWE for using that as like that pin someone. But like looking at the worm, like the worm's insane. Like it is so ridiculous that you almost like can't take it serious. So I like can't get too mad at it. Like the people's elbow, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's just dumb.
So dumb.
Because there's so many that are actually legit. Like you already said, like the tombstone, right? Like that's legit. Like a choke slam is legit.
Well, think about the Undertaker. So the Undertaker used
the Stone
at various
Cold
points
Stunner
in his career.
Like that's legit. Like if someone did a Stone Cold Stunner to someone in the real life, you break their fucking jaw.
Yeah, and it's like, like at one point in Undertaker's career, he employed one, if not all three of these. The Last Ride.
Yep.
Chokeslam and Tombstone. Plus he had his like Hell's Gate, whatever, like submission.
Yeah.
So like, listen, I like we've all done it. I've wrestled like it on a couch. I've been power bombed into a couch.
Yep.
No one gets hurt. Sure, when you hit the middle of the couch, when like couches used to be made out of like big wooden piece, like right in there. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like at least like something actually happens. Like jackknife, pedigree, like F5, FU, like all of these things.
Right.
Like even like Kurt, like the angle slam, like okay, like I understand, like I don't know. It's just like I just laugh.
Even like the sweet chin music, right? Like that's it's a fucking kick to the face, right? Kick to the chin. Like Shawn Michaels is gonna fuck you up. What was I think Hulk Hogan's was literally just a boot to the fucking chest.
No, it was the leg drop.
Oh yeah, the leg drop. That's another one.
But he also fought at a time where it was like him. Oh shit, what was it called when they like do the flip? Was it just a power bomb? I don't even know what it was called, but like whatever he like was it just a body slam? I don't remember.
Oh, the suplex?
No, it wasn't a suplex, but whatever he did to Andre the Giant, where he basically picked him up, flipped him, and just dumped him on his back.
Oh, okay.
Like that was like a finishing move at one point. It's like, it's never been done with someone that big. I gotcha.
Right.
And then it's like, yeah, I know it's hard when you watch. So like right around 97. So WCW is Kevin Nash, Hogan, Goldberg, like DDP, like that, like those are like the big names. And then in WWE, like 97 is like Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, all getting started. That's coming from Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Yeah. Like that type of group. So it's like the moves were much simpler even then. Yeah. But like Goldberg's jackknife was different because guys did power bombs and that's what Kevin Nash did. Right. Hogan was old school with the leg drop. But like no one was Jeff Hardy doing a fucking swanton or a senton bomb. I don't know who did what or which one, but they weren't doing that. Right.
Or like the Dudley Slam.
Oh, the 3D through the table?
Yeah, the 3D. That's what it was.
Yep. Well, Bubba did a Bubba bomb.
Yep.
Then they did the 3D, which is like an RKO with a lift.
Yeah.
Which actually was the diamond cutter before it was the RKO. And then they just threw everyone through tables and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was fun. But yeah, I mean, like it was like
that's why Rey Mysterio was such a draw. Because he was doing fucked up
like
shit.
Hurricanranas and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. He was doing like all kinds of crazy spins and all kinds of was it the spider like he wrapped someone like around the ropes with his body and he was on the other side, like just pulling. Like that was a fucking weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, so it was like actually, if you remember the LWO. So when NWO was doing their thing, the LWO was kind of around, and it was like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, and like Psychosis and like some other random dudes. But like they were all like Hispanic. They were all like off the top rope. They're all like jumping, spinning, like again, like the Hurricanranas, like they're all like reversals midair. Like they were all like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like that's where like really when you like the Hardys, Edge and Christian, like when those guys like really started coming along, that's when things kind of like it's like the X Games though. It's like Tony Hawk did a 900 one time, and people probably sat there like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now dudes like they're doing more spins with more flips and losing the board and fucking God knows what. And it's just over time, things just enhance. So it's like, crazier. So like Hogan's leg drop is a joke, but like these like the moves that I'm fucking like laughing at, they came out at a time when people were doing good stuff. And like, I was supposed to like who thought of the people's elbow? And like, someone was sitting there going, this is something we're going to do. Now, it turns out they were right because it was a draw for however many years. But I don't know. Scotty too hardy jumping on the one leg.
Well, for my final thought, I've got I'm gonna go back to the well for a third time in the show's history. Originally, I had given a prediction that they were going to have Biden win the election, and they were going to kill him with COVID, and they were going to do all kinds of crazy shit. Then we talked about it again a little after that, and we just lost Bob, but I'm going to power through. And then that was a couple weeks ago. I think I brought it up again. So I have, for the third time, I have Biden has COVID again, and he can't kick it. So he apparently got COVID originally. Then he tested negative. And then he tested positive again, like a few days later, which everyone thought was super weird. So like now we're going on like 3 weeks of this old motherfucker testing positive for COVID. So I am, like I said, I'm going back to the well for the third time. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to steal something I heard from a comedian. I forget who it might have been. Chris DiStefano, but there was a comedian that that was like, Bob just texted me. He goes, computer just restarted out of nowhere. It's pretty awesome. So there was a comedian that was like, well, I mean, this is kind of it for COVID, right? So I don't think he's wrong. I think that, so I'm going to combine all of this here. We've got Biden, my original prediction that he's going to die of COVID and then, get going. And then we have this, the comedian's take and all that. And I think he's right. I think this is it, right? This is COVID's last stand, because you've got this old fuck who's had it for 3 weeks now. And if he dies, then everyone's like, oh my God, it's COVID's real. It just killed the president. We're on to Führer, Harris, do that whole shtick, that whole bullshit. Or I guess there's another option where he could just resign. He could be like, I have health complications and I have to resign. Either way, COVID's going to take him out of office. But if he kicks this and comes back, like, that's it for COVID. Like, I don't want to hear another fucking person say anything about COVID if Biden gets over this and like doesn't die and doesn't have to resign and step down or do whatever, because the dude's fucking 80 years old. He has dementia, right? It's pretty obvious. He's had this for 3 weeks, right? Tested positive, tested negative, then tested positive again. It came back. Like there's all this stuff in the news. Like he's got all this, he's got rebound and all this shit. If he beats this, I'm done. I don't want to hear it anymore. Right? Because the guy's clearly not in good health. He's old as fuck. And if it doesn't kill him or it doesn't do enough damage to him to get him out of office, I'm done with it. I don't want to hear anybody talk about it anymore. And I know that people have died from it, right? Obviously, hundreds of thousands of people have died from it. But also the virus has changed over time. And where we are now, I'm all set. I'm done. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I'm sick and fucking tired of it. We're going on year 3 of this, and people that still want to get upset about COVID can get fucked, honestly, in my opinion. If you get it, you get it. You'll be better in a couple of days. Like that's basically where we're at now. So everyone that's like, oh my God, COVID. Oh my God, I don't want to get, no, it's fine. I had it. People have had it. They get better. It's not a problem. It's not a real thing anymore. It's not 2019. It's not 2020. You know, we're not at that time. So I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. So fuck COVID. Fuck. Oh, Bob just texted me. It's updating. He's not coming back. Not enough time. Well, that's it for me. Anyway. So whatever I was saying, fuck COVID, fuck Biden, fuck all politicians, really. It's not just him. So yeah, that's that. That's my final thought. So Bob, we lost Bob at a good time because we're done. So thank you to grillyourassoff.com. You go to grillyourassoff.com, use the promo code SarcasmPod when you check out to save 10% off your order every single time you check out. The best seasonings in the world. Barbecue sauces, t-shirts, hats, grilling utensils, the best in the game. You can't beat them. Grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod for 10% off. We already talked about MyBookie. Thanks again to them. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website is Sarcasm Speaks. Follow us, like, rate, subscribe, review on Twitter. If you're an audio only guy, same thing over there. Tell everybody you know about the show. And until next time.